Okay, so very good. Alright, so today is a Grotty Poet here, celebration day. Today is the anniversary. Well, it's about let's do this again. Right. Okay, so Grotty Poet here. Hello. And celebrate a bit of a celebration day today. Is the anniversary. Well, somewhere around this week. This time last year, somewhere around this week. We'll just call it today because it was about today. The anniversary of 1 year for myself on YouTube making videos. Been a terrific journey. Actually, I remember that for for a few months. It was somewhere a couple of months prior to making my first video. For a few months, every day I was filming in my head. I would think about filming in my head. I thought, and I had a particular vision of exactly how I thought it would turn out, and I was driving my. I was becoming a bit frustrated because I was filming it all in my head. And then about this time last year, this is a Sony camera that I'm using. It's not a Canon or anything. It's a Sony camera, and I found it because I'd initially only been taking photographs with it occasionally. Knew it could record, so found this tripod, and it was about 10 o'clock at night. It was pretty cold, and I remember I set it up. Now I had a couple of ideas for my channel. I actually did have an idea of where my channel was going to go. I was initially going to do there's a bit of philosophical things and album reviews. Album reviews, movie reviews, talk about things like that. Perhaps a bit of motivation. Perhaps that. However, all this was in my head, and what I was going to say was also, what I'm going to discuss shortly is my journey in Christianity, and when I left it about 6 months ago. I haven't touched on that because that night that I pressed record a year ago, I was so desperate to get a YouTube channel started and going that so desperate to get the ball rolling. I grabbed one of my poems. It was cold. I set the tripod up, grabbed one of my poems, and I just read it in front of the camera. I read the poem in front of the camera just for something to do, just start something. And then I did it again. I grabbed another poem and I did that. Then I did a bit of improvisation. And while I still had the other ideas in my head, music review, movies, music, and from my first video. Anyway, so I did that, and I actually have done those album reviews, and I have done the movie reviews. However, the lighting was a bit bad, and so that I've actually. There's a few things going on at the moment in regard to editing, in regard to doing things over again. The way I've done things so far, I have a couple of 1 hour videos up on YouTube at the moment. I have a few of them. And, at first I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were excellent. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were terrific and fantastic. And I promoted myself aggressively about that because that's what you're supposed to do to get people's attention. And I did that. However, while I was filming it, was the individual footage that I had. And I looked at it and I was like, wait one moment, I'm always checking my battery. Okay, so the individual footage that I had, I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's not interesting. That's a bit, what am I going to do with this? And I thought, oh, I was going to throw it away. And then about a day went by and I thought, yeah, I don't really want to throw that away. I don't really want to throw the footage away. So I thought, what am I going to do? And then I thought, oh man, I don't really want to throw this footage away. and I thought, why don't I just tangle it up, just mash it all together. And I spent about 2 months doing that, mashing it all together, and while I was in the process, while I was actually putting it together for the grand montage, I thought, you know what, I reckon one or two of these videos could actually stand quite well by themselves. I reckon, I could quite good by itself, and put it up there, it's fine, it's terrific, and I'll eventually do that. So I spent all this time on the grand montage, and I don't even want to watch it back. Tedious, that's too long, didn't want to watch it back. And I did another video, and it was like that for the sentiments of Joe, which actually initially started out as sentiments of mind. However, and I did exactly the same things, exactly the same process, and I was in the middle of that, and I thought, oh, you know, perhaps this could all be separated into individual sections, but I probably did that down the track, and the whole tangle mix-up thing of that, and then, so what's happened is that the long 1 hour videos, don't feel obligated to watch them, quite tedious to sit through, and I pretty much spent the last 4 weeks, actually it took me longer, I've spent the last 4 weeks re-editing everything, remixing everything, putting all those videos, keeping them more to their original tune, and I've cut them down to smaller segments to make it easier, make it YouTube friendly, to make it YouTube, but it's just much easier the way I've done it now, and it's actually been much easier and a much better process to put them in the smaller segments than to do that whole big long tangle, which was really frustrating and tedious to watch back, and so I did that. So I spent the last 4 weeks just rearranging it all. It's really like that. However, 1 year ago today, I sat in front of the camera for the first time, I pressed record and went, so I was quite jittery to start with, but things have gone very, very well, and I would say that if you want to get a YouTube channel going, you don't need the Canon 50X. Can get it. I'm sure I've looked at reviews for it. I'm sure it's a great camera. I've got my Sony one here. I bought this about 6 years ago. And what you do, let me just check it, make sure the battery's still good. Battery's still good. So get your camera, press record, get in front. You don't even have to say anything. Just start recording, and that's it. And I had initially I had slightly different intentions. I wasn't going to read poetry out. It was just a side thought to read poetry out, but I just wanted something to practice on. I just grabbed a poem, started, and I've been continuing to do that since. However, I've got some other things to get onto, and also I wanted to get the short film ideas, and what I was going to do was start on my short films. And the idea of starting a YouTube channel was frustrating me. Not frustrating, it was frustrating me. I just wanted to get that started first and get the ball rolling in that. So I get the ball rolling on the YouTube channel, and soon I got to get back to the short films, which was the initial intention to start out. I get the YouTube channel started first, and there's that. So, marvellous, terrific. My channel is terrific. It's fantastic. I haven't had any problems. I haven't had any struggle. That's one of the things. But I consider that a stepping stone. That was just, I was doing that. I was experimenting. I was doing it. Get it done. Do it. And then, thought, I realised that they were a bit long. So just cut them down to smaller segments. That's it. Heaps of filming now. Being focused on the editing. It's before I even put the video up, I thought, well, how many subscribers do I like? How many people do I like watching my show? I thought, 100, maybe 200. And you have 40 or 50, and if you had 200 subscribers, let's say you've got 200 people watching your channel. It's 200 people. You have 200 people watching your channel. That's a theatre of people who are interested in your channel. Now you got 1 million subscribers, right? Which is ridiculous, right? So you might, let's say you have 1,000 subscribers, right? So you've got 1,000 subscribers, and out of that 1,000 subscribers, you might have 30 people. Because I've seen this often, 1,000 subscribers, 30 views. So you've actually got 30 people who are genuinely interested in the content that you're making, genuinely interested. Or you might have 15 people who are, and the rest really just couldn't care less. They just they're not interested. It's just the status of getting to 1 million subscribers, and then you get this bullshit plaque from YouTube saying we've got 1 million subscribers, when in reality, 50 people are actually watching your content. So, yeah, I'd be over my goal. My goal, 50 subscribers is my goal. And 50 subscribers, 50 people actually interested in my content. There you go. And because of this new standard, people are in competition with each other. Sub for sub. Sub me, I'll sub you. Well, it doesn't work. It's stupid. It's a pyramid thing. And a decade ago, YouTube wasn't like this. A decade ago, I still had my memory in my battery. Make sure it's still there. I think it's just easy to just pop around the corner and check it. So a decade ago, vloggers ruled YouTube, and it was a different place. There were a lot of alternative vloggers doing their thing. It was very, very good. But now you've got these who are promoting a YouTube of 1 million subscribers. Get to 1 million subscribers any way you can. Once you got that 1 million, then you can do what you want. But why don't you just start off doing what you want in the first place, right? Do what you want in the first place, and get yourself 50 genuine subscribers. So, 1 year anniversary for me on YouTube, and it is terrific. It's just like I film so much. I've done so much film, heaps of filming. It's terrific. It's been great. I'm satisfied with it. I've just got to touch on the subjects that I want to touch on to more. That's about the only frustration I have is actually, as I said, religion, Christianity, which I wish to talk about very soon at some point. Make a video about that. A year ago today, and I think it took me a couple of videos to get over the initial nerves and made the mistake that I was talking to 1,000 people at once. And you can always pretend that you pretend the camera's a friend or whatever or whatnot. Took 6 or 7 goes to sort of get over that, and you just do that. Yeah, just do it. But all I'm seeing now is I'm seeing every other YouTuber saying, subscribe and subscribe to my channel. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers by in a month's time. Misguided, completely misguided. You don't need that. Anything to do with that. But unfortunately, if you choose to go near those channels, and I think those channels are very toxic. People who are telling you, how to succeed on YouTube. I did watch those videos for a bit, but I've stopped doing that now. It's not worth my time. And just carry on with my own thing. You're much better off doing that. 1 year anniversary on YouTube. Very good. Very, very good indeed. It's done very well. It's I'd be proud of it. It's very, very good. So, get it done. 1 year. This 1 year is very, very good. Yeah, very good. just thinking back when I filmed my first video. It was freezing cold. I set the tripod up, put that on the camera on there, sat down, and I went, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I grabbed the poem, I read it, that was fun. And then I sort of did it a couple of times that night in the space of about 3 hours. And I looked back at the footage and I went, oh, maybe I won't think we'll do a YouTube channel. And then 2 hours later I thought maybe I could try to salvage it. I got used to seeing myself on film. I hadn't seen myself on film for a while. 20 years ago I was in the theatre and I've done things and film and all that. Anyway, I hadn't looked at myself for a while, and then I got used to watching myself. I adjusted to that, and then that's when the ball got rolling, and then I did use that initial footage. But also I spent 4 weeks editing my first YouTube video. I spent 4 weeks editing it. I really shouldn't have done that at all. All I should have done was recorded it, and then transfer it to MP4, right? And then, just back up on YouTube. That's it.